I'm Eric. Is Ernie, and this is my invading alien invader. So, um, this is the last skit from the short-lived The Soul Spot youth program that we did for Spanish Christian Network.
Mm-hmm.
This is also part of the Purity program series that had the Condos Are Not the Answer, the Creative Ways to Say No, and the Moco Part 2.
Yep.
We had some concert footage, I guess live performances, and stuff like that, which I may end up posting as well, but we wouldn't need to talk about the making of that. Next week, since we're still in this quarantine thing, I'm thinking about doing the Dairy Air. And I think if I can find it, we have another skit that was done at a concert that I did. It was a pro-life concert that I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I might have that on video somewhere. But I don't really have anything. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this started. To begin with, this is a parody of The Twilight Zone.
Yep.
Ernie was our Rod Serling.
Yep.
And this is my collectible figure, Twilight Zone figure. And
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Hold on 1 second. You looking for your phone?
Yeah.
It's right there. So, anyways, all right. So we're gonna go and hit play on this thing.
Right.
Presentado para su aprobación. Adelante hay un signo.
All right. Do you remember how we got this effect?
Yeah, I actually stole that from an episode of The Twilight Zone.
So that's just a straight rip.
That is, I took video from The Twilight Zone, an episode, and the music is actually Ernie playing.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
Yeah, we
I totally
looked up
forgot
the
about
chord, the key, the notes for the Twilight Zone theme,
Yeah.
and then Ernie just sort of
This is back when I put my music reading skills to use.
juxtaposed the notes, so they were the same notes, but in a different sequence or different order.
Yep.
So that was how we did that.
Signo de alto no es un signo de velocidad y definitivamente no es un signo del zodiaco. Es más, ni siquiera es un signo. Tú ya sabes lo que voy a decir, aún antes de que yo lo diga, pero eso aún no me para de decirlo. Presentado para tu aprobación, acompáñame mientras que tomamos un viaje por la zona y el sofá.
All right. So I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure that took a lot of takes because my Spanish was so much worse back then, barely improved now. I remember you had.
All the voiceovers were
We wrote
recorded
the script
separately.
first in English.
Yeah, and then we translated it. I don't remember. Yeah, Dina translated
We
it.
had Dina. So we got the church. We had Dina translate it, and then, just several several recordings to get it
Yeah,
out.
to get it over, get the voiceover, and so go ahead. And, this car that's coming up belonged to this guy named Manny Jaramillo, and since we were doing this sort of flashback, if you can see in the background, there's a car that is not period appropriate. This was filmed at the Blates house, or Jonathan and Ingrid's parents' home. And we shot it at night. It went pretty late, but we called up Manny and he brought his car, so he's actually the one driving, but then we had Joshua Smith and on a date with Denise Peregrina, or she's not Peregrina anymore, and I cannot remember her married last name, so
Yeah.
let's go ahead and roll it.
Tú eres su amiga y él es tu amigo. Tus amigos son sus amigos y sus amigos son tus amigos. Por eso es que ustedes son amigos.
And
Cheers.
there's Ernie dressed up in a suit. I don't remember, where'd you get that? Was that your suit, or did you borrow from somebody?
No. Jonathan?
Was it Johnny's suit?
I want to say Johnny let me borrow that suit.
Okay.
Johnny back then wore clothes a bit larger, and I was much thinner back then. So, anyways,
Y ustedes están con sus amigos, todos sus amigos. Y él decide que quiere ser más amigable que amigos. Así que dejaste a tus amigos y ahora
Pause.
estás con tu más amigable.
We got a question about how old you were. How old do you think you were in this?
Jeez, buddy. Was I still in high school or just out of high school? I want to say like I was just out of high school. I may have been like 18.
2000. What year did you graduate? This is 2000. I think this was 2004. We shot this.
2004. I graduated in 2003. So that would put me at 18 because I
Yeah,
graduated
so
at 17 years old.
18. And right there in almost every shot, this dude is at. So he's right there in the window pane.
Yeah.
So is from one of my favorite episodes of the Twilight Zone. You guys should watch it. I love the series, The Twilight Zone. I got my Twilight Zone shirt.
Yep.
But yeah. So I wanted him in every shot as much as possible. So go ahead and play.
Amigo, sus parientes han sabido. Ustedes dos pueden estar solo para más conocerse.
I'm already gonna laugh because I remember the line.
Él pone la televisión, se acerca a tu lado y pone su brazo a tu alrededor. Te mira a los ojos y dice, quiero sentir tu amor.
That
Tú
line
deberías-
makes me laugh.
Ah,
There's the
Vomitar en
alien
su
in the
pizza.
background. Previous shot, he was adjusting the antenna of the TV
y tratar de besarlo hasta luego.
on the chair there.
B. Ponerte una máscara de gas. Rociar de
In the family photo, you can see the playtest family.
Yeah.
So neither one of these people are in the family photo in the background.
I'm trying to remember where we got that mask from. I want to say
I
it was
bought that mask at Doughboys in Long Beach.
There we go.
Armory surplus store. It's actually not complete. It's missing the filter canisters
on the front. That's
in the
right.
front, but it is a legit military gas mask. And if you tuck in the collar under your clothes, it creates a pretty good seal. And it's not pleasant to breathe through. So Denise was a trooper there putting that thing on, even
Yeah.
without the filters. So yeah,
This is essentially friend zoning before friend zoning was
a term.
yeah,
Yeah.
tell you man, ahead of our time.
Así es. Llamarle a la Armada, la Navy y la Marina
I'll
y
pause
todos
this.
los demás que se te
All right, so the weapons we have here. Borrowed a couple of samurai swords from a friend.
Yep.
A lightsaber on the left. I've got Han Solo's blaster coming in, and the gun. I can't remember what model gun that was supposed to be. I think that was a Colt. I think that was supposed to be like a 45 caliber. But it was actually an airsoft gun. That was supposed to be like a 45.
Yeah.
And I think we had some of those arms are. I think one of them's Ernie. If you can find, I think the suit arm here's the gun.
Yes,
That's actually Ernie.
Yeah, it's mine.
And then I
This
think
is
we had
our-
Ingrid and Johnny. I think also lent arms in.
Pretty sure this was Steven. No, was he not around at that
I don't
time?
know if Steven was around at that time.
Oh,
So I don't remember who else was there. We had other people there.
Yeah.
I think Manuel was still there hanging out. We would just.
Yep.
We had somebody laying down on the floor,
holding up.
whip up the sword.
Yeah.
So gotta play that.
y esperar que él agarre la clave. C. Paga la televisión y hazlo. Hazlo, sin realmente tener la intención o el plan de hacerlo completamente, pero olvidándote de la pasión del momento que Jesús dijo que si tú aún miras a alguien con brujería en tus ojos, ya cometiste el pecado en tu corazón. Hazlo, olvidando que mañana cuando lo miras te sentirás usada y culpable, y tu autoestima se bajará 100 puntos cada vez que lo mires, y él y sus amigos se estarán riendo de ti cuando tú pasas enfrente de ellos. Hazlo, y olvídate que tal vez te puedes embarazar, o que tal vez puedes contraer una de las 37 enfermedades transmitidas sexualmente. 37. Muchas de las cuales no tienen cura. Quita las palabras, yo lo tomo de aquí. Hazlo, y darte cuenta cómo es el quebrar los mandamientos de Dios. Darte cuenta cómo se sienta el remordimiento de ser desechado tu virginidad por la resta de tu vida. Oh, de Dios.
So, I think I had to memorize that.
No,
one.
you didn't.
I didn't. You had the paper. Was this where you had the paper in front of me and you were
we
like
had-
dropping
we-
one and then
we,
dropping
we,
another?
We wrote out the thing because Ernie was like, I can't
It
memorize
was
that.
too much. There's so much
And,
Spanish. I could not
we
memorize all
actually
that.
we actually changed the number of diseases. It was actually a high number. I think it was like 43.
Yeah.
But again, I was trying to put the number 37 in there. I was like, well, if more than 43, it's more than 37. So I put the number 37 in that thing. But there was like 43 STDs that we were aware of at the time. And I remember when we had Denise go for it, she was super uncomfortable. She was just like, and we're just like, okay, you're gonna go off screen, and she's like, no, I don't want people to think I'm kissing him. We're just like,
Yeah.
like if you're acting, and so
It took quite a
she
bit
was
of
very
coaxing.
uncomfortable. Yeah, it was. And then when we had to do multiple takes, she was just like, it just would get worse and worse, and she was like
Yeah.
turning red, just like, so. And the only reason we had to keep doing takes, they did great, was Ernie would get tongue twisted, and he didn't actually. This was your worst, I think. I mean, you've been practicing your Spanish and getting better and speaking conversationally with your mom and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not even sure if you knew everything you were saying at that.
No, I guarantee you I did not know many of the words that were coming out of my mouth. I just tried to phonetically get them right. So, yeah, now that I'm reading it over, I'm like, wow, I didn't know what I was saying.
Yeah, so I remember there, because other ones we were able to have them read short-term memorizing, but that one was so long that we had to write it out on big paper, and we're holding it, and we're trying quietly, because we actually got the audio off of you
Yeah.
for that, trying to quietly remove the paper so he can keep reading it. At the same time, trying to make it look like he's not reading by scanning his eyes back and forth. So that was fun.
For you.
For me, yeah. I didn't have to do Rod Serling. And while he's reading this, he's still trying to stay in character, trying to do that serious, deep...
As deep as 18-year-old Ernie could get.
Yeah, but also trying to keep that meter.
Yeah. You'd have to watch. I mean, if you haven't watched Twilight Zone, go
Yeah.
watch it. See how badly I did
Classic.
impersonating. But, yeah, let's continue on.
Que voltear hacia él y decirle con fuerzas, llévame a mi casa ahora. No es grande cosa, es solo una pequeña decisión. Si tú contestaste A, tú estás enfermo. Si tú contestaste B, tú estás paranoico. Si tú contestaste C, las probabilidades son que estás enfermo y paranoico. Si tú contestaste D, estás correcto. Y tus recompensas serán sin fin. Porque cuando tú basas tu vida en la palabra de Dios, nunca te arrepentirás. Si tú contestaste E, tú no estás poniendo atención. Una vez más,
Because E was not an option.
representado para su aprobación, la zona del sofá.
Man, it was just hard. I remember in the back of my mind, I was just thinking eyebrow down, eyebrow up to keep that Rod Serling face. I've watched so many episodes trying to get his mannerisms.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I did a good job. I just remember, like, I watched a lot. I didn't even watch the full episodes. I was just watching Rod Serling over and
intros.
over his intros.
Yeah.
That was a long night. I want to say we didn't wrap up till like 2.
Most of these nights went really long.
Or 3 in the morning. It was something like that. And that family let us be in their house making the racket. And
They were very, again, so brother and sister Gloria and Osmin, thank you.
yeah, thank
Again.
you very much.
16 years later, thank you again for letting us use your house as a set.
Yeah.
And being up in your hair.
Is there anything else at the end of this?
I think there's a Bible verse, and then
Yeah, there you
again some more Twilight Zone-ish notes rearranged. So, and that is the Sofa Zone.
go. There you
So,
go.
Yeah.
Butchering Spanish since I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
Well,
Better you than me. So
this is true. I
my
would have done worse.
Spanish is still bad.